Time to take a coding break. Howdy, coding pros, and welcome back to the Coding Break podcast. I'm your coding break host, Tam Talk, also known as the medical coding coach. And on today's episode, I want to talk about ICD. I will say ICD-10 and ICD-9. The fact that I messed up in stating ICD-9 lets you know that ICD-9 is with the dinosaurs, right? Right. So I was reading a job description or a recommended job description, and I always try to peruse like what the job requirements are. Is it something I'm interested in pursuing? Is it something I'm interested in sharing with other coding colleagues? And I try to get as much information with the job descriptions or their potential employers as it relates to like the salaries, whether or not the role is remote, is the coder required to come on site, things of that nature. And I also look at the job description in order to determine which target audience of coders should I direct this role to, or find some flaws in it. And so one of the things that I noticed in a job description or job recommendation that I received is it stated ICD-9. ICD-9. And so that was a red flag for me, or I would say a yellow flag, because again, we're no longer using ICD-9 codes. We're in 2025. The ICD-9 codes went away in like 2015. We actually transitioned to ICD-10 in 2015. And of course, I verified this through, ChatGPT. So when I saw the job description stating to verify or to audit ICD-9 codes, I'm like, oh my God, okay. Either this is a fake job description, or the system that this company is utilizing is very antiquated. Again, we transitioned from using ICD-9 codes, especially in the healthcare aspect, in 2015. So that's almost 10 years ago, because we're in 2025, getting ready to head into 2026. So a company or an organization had 10 plus years to transition from using ICD-9 and start implementing ICD-10, and that's CM as well as ICD-10 PCS. So I'm a little confused as to why we are still utilizing ICD-9. And I do know that it's used for historical data analysts, not so much, definitely not for healthcare purposes, and definitely not in the United States of America, the good US of A. So again, I say all this to say that when you're pursuing a coding role, a medical coding role, especially for those of you who are new to medical coding, you want to make sure that you're carefully reading the job description and understand what you're signing up for. Again, ICD-9 went away in 2015. So any job description that states anything about assigning ICD-9 codes is a red flag. Again, ICD-9 went away in 2015. Now, do we know ICD-9 codes? Yes. If you put a 401.9 in my face, I know that is hypertension. So we've been in it for a long time. So we do still recognize ICD-9 codes. I mean, just because we've used it for a long time. But you should be using I-10 for hypertension in 2025. Again, and I'll repeat this, ICD-9 went away. They're with the dinosaurs. So you may find some fossils. I guess that's what we're doing. We're finding fossils. Again, antiquated systems that are being utilized. And again, if you're doing like clinical research, of course you want to, or historical clinical research, you're looking at ICD-9 codes. But if you're actively coding or assigning codes to current healthcare cases, you should be implementing or assigning ICD-10 codes to those cases. Again, not ICD-9, but ICD-10. Say it with me, ICD-10. 9 is no longer available. ICD-10. So that's a little tidbit I want to share with you. Again, if you're searching for a coding role, a medical coding role, and you may or may not be looking at the job description, but that is a telltale sign that could possibly be a scam or a red flag. Or if you're new to coding, you may not have the training or the experience to deal with ICD-9. Perhaps you've been trained to focus solely on ICD-10. So applying for a role that states ICD-9 and you don't have ICD-9 experience or an ICD-9 background, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's not to discourage you, but I'm trying to help you avoid a pitfall or a landfill. Again, because ICD-9 went away in 2015. And again, we're embarking on 2026. So again, on your journey of looking for a coding role, on your job search looking for a coding role, pay attention to some of the things that are being placed in these job descriptions. Is it a typo? Could possibly be. If you have access to contact HR, human resources, in regards to the job description typo, then I would do so. But if you don't, scratch your head. Think about it. Contemplate. Should I be applying to this particular role? Should I be giving my personal information to this potential or particular employer? Am I setting myself up to be scammed? So again, those are some of the things that I wanted to share with you, or one of the things that I want to share with you, again, as you're in the midst of your job search. And I just happened to come across it because an email was sent to me regarding a potential role. And like I said, I'll always review the job description, the logistics, the salaries, and all of that things, because if it's something that I am unable to fulfill or not interested in, I'm able to share that with some of my colleagues in the industry, or perhaps they know someone who may be looking for a role and they can share that information with them. And I also try to find out like a direct contact person so that applicant can be put in front of that hiring, perhaps director, manager, or employer. So again, if you're on your job search journey, pay attention to some of the red flags. And one of those is if you see ICD-9 listed, that is a red flag, because ICD-9 went away in 2015. So that's all that I have for this coding break. As always, code on, and I'll talk to you the next coding break. Toodles.